Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm back with another update coming out for the war between Russia and Ukraine, and I've got tons of big news to share with you in today's video. So I think it's official. I'm going to have to rename this channel to Oil Depot News. That's all we've been covering for the last 3 or 4 days now. So we've got reports last night Ukrainian drones destroyed two more oil depots inside Russia overnight. Okay, and you can see here on your screen, Ukrainian forces attacked oil depots in Russia's Tula and Kaluga Oblast last night, according to the General Staff and Ukraine's military intelligence, the HUR. Massive fires have been reported. You can see the video footage coming out from the Kaluga region of Russia. And we got a lot of people standing in the streets over here just watching this oil depot burn to the ground. So, yes, two oil depots have been hit overnight with Ukrainian drones, one in the Tula region, one in Kaluga. And both of these regions are right next to each other, just a little bit south of Moscow. I could show you guys on a map exactly where both of these oil depots are located. I've got all the information regarding these strikes, and we'll go over that here in just a moment. And also, overnight, we had major attacks inside of Ukraine. We have reports of ballistic missiles that have been fired onto Kyiv. I believe 3 or 4 people already lost their lives. Massive attack in Kyiv. I've got video footage and pictures coming out from there. Very horrible situation, okay? Lots of innocent people being harmed in these attacks. And I believe Ukraine was able to shoot down 2 out of 4 of these incoming ballistic missiles. But ballistic missiles are definitely much harder to shoot down than, for example, like a cruise missile. So many of these happen to make it inside of Ukraine. So we'll go over those details. Also, even Zaporizhzhia being hit hard today as well inside of Ukraine. So this is mainly going to be a video talking about major attacks on both sides, okay? Inside of Russia with these oil depots and also the attacks inside of Ukraine. And then I've got a few other things I want to share with you guys coming out from this war as well. So let's go ahead and dive right into all the news. We're going to start off here with the mainstream news article so I can give you all the details. The Kyiv Independent has good information here regarding these two oil depots that have been hit. So it says here Ukraine hits 2 oil depots in Russia overnight. Okay, this is coming out today, January 18th, 2025. And it says down here, Ukrainian forces attacked oil depots in Russia's Tula and Kaluga Oblast overnight on January 18th, according to the General Staff and the Kyiv Independent source in Ukraine's military intelligence, HUR. The attack came amid an uptick in Ukraine's drone attacks on Russia as Kyiv aims at damaging Russia's oil industry, which is crucial for sustaining Moscow's war effort as well as its military hardware. The drones operated by Ukraine's military intelligence, HUR, hit the oil depot in Tula Oblast at least 10 times, guys. Look at that. 10 times in this attack, HUR source claimed. Okay, so 10 drones striking the oil depot in Tula. Okay, and I'll show you guys where it's at again on a map here in just a moment. Tula Oblast, located south of Moscow, has regularly come under attack by Ukrainian drones. So the Tula oil facility is much larger than the one in Kaluga. So here's a little map they gave you. Here's Tula and Kaluga, just south of Moscow. Okay, Moscow's right here. It's kind of cut off. It's covered up by this little thing here. Yeah, the one in Tula, much larger than the one in Kaluga, which makes sense why they would have used 10 drones to strike it. So pretty insane that just 10 drones alone were able to make it all the way up to Tula, coming from the border of Ukraine, and were not shot down, striking that facility, okay, 10 times. Insane. Tula Oblast Governor Dmitry Milayev said that a fuel storage tank caught fire at one of the enterprises in the region. No casualties were reported. Videos posted on social media and shared by residents appear to show a large fire at an oil depot in the town of Uzlavaya in the region. Now, Uzlavaya is a larger town closer to the town of Dedilovo, which is the town inside of Tula where one of these oil depots were hit. Okay, so I'll show you that here in just a moment too. Ukrainian soldiers also hit an oil depot in the Russian town of Lyudinovo in Kaluga Oblast overnight, causing a fire, Ukraine's general staff reported. This is that smaller oil depot, but it was hit. Lyudinovo lies around 200 kilometers or 124 miles north of the Ukrainian border. The oil depot is owned by Kaluga Neft Product, if I'm saying that wrong, right? Subsidiary of Russia's state-controlled oil company Rosneft. According to the statement, this is a logistics center that supplies units of the Russian armed forces directly involved in the war against Ukraine, the military said. Kyiv Independent could not verify these claims. Okay, so there's the official report talking about these strikes on these two oil depots. Now we're going to hop in over to a map and let me show you exactly where these are located, okay? So here's Ukrainian territory down here, Russian territory over here, Moscow right up here. Here's the Moscow region. Just a little bit south, we have the Kaluga region right here, and then right next door we have the Tula region, okay? And both these regions probably about, I'd say 150, 200 kilometers away from the border of Ukraine down here. So we'll start off with the Tula region. Okay, so it's going to be this right region over here, and then we'll do the Kaluga region after on the left side. Okay, so zooming into the eastern side of the Tula region, here's the city of Tula right here, and then we'll zoom in to the town of Dedilovo. Okay, so Dedilovo right here, and then that other town that we were talking about earlier, Uzlavea. This is the larger, I guess we can call it more of a city. It's much larger. Dedilovo is more of just a village, I guess, or a small town. Just to the north of the town of Dedilovo, we have this oil facility, okay? We can see a very large facility, probably about maybe 30 or so estimated of these oil tanks that are storing fuel and oil. So this is the one that we know got hit 10 times, okay? And it makes sense why Ukraine would have used so many drones. This is a very massive facility, definitely one of the larger ones in terms of an oil depot. And then this is the one inside of Tula, right? Okay, so we have the Tula oil depot right here. Now next door, we'll go over to Kaluga, okay? So just like the south central area, we have the town of Leodinovo, okay? So we'll zoom into that. Here's Leodinovo right here. All right, pretty good size city, I guess we can call this as well, or larger size town. Okay, on the southern portion of Leodinovo, we have this smaller oil depot, okay? It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, looks like 9 of these storage tanks. And as far as we know, at least one of these were struck, so probably a much smaller amount of drones coming in this area. But pretty insane. I mean, we even have a video of drones entering into the Kaluga region up here, and they're not being shot down at all, okay? They're just freely flying over here. And it's pretty crazy because, a lot of Russian soldiers have been complaining about this on Telegram, that these drones just fly in, not being shot down at all. And for some reason, these drones are just able to make it in when Russia claims that they've got, some of the best air defense systems in the world, and, the best air defense complex out of most countries. You would think they'd be able to take down a lot of these drones, but so far these drones have been very effective, okay? So again, southern side of Leodinovo, in the south central portion, I guess we can call it, or southwest portion of the Kaluga Oblast right there. Then we have the Tula Oblast right next to it on the eastern side where Dedilovo was at, okay? So that's where they're located, right there, just a little bit south of Moscow, okay? So now let's hop on over to X, and I've got video footage for you guys over here. Jason J. Smart reports, Ukrainian armed forces drones attacked an oil depot in Tula, Russia. Local residents heard at least 10 explosions, after which a fire broke out. Okay, so 10 explosions, that explains why we know 10 drones hit this facility. So just a quick video, 5 seconds long while it's burning. Take a look. All right, we can definitely see this thing on fire. Not the best video footage. It's angled up a little bit. I guess they were trying to capture the smoke coming from this facility as well. So we got more videos we can show you also. Hopping over to Max24 and more from Tula. Okay, we've got a longer video here, about 22 seconds long. Somebody a little bit further away showing the smoke and fire coming from this oil depot in Tula. Also, take a look at this. All right, based on this video, it looks like maybe only 1 or 2 oil storage tanks are on fire, because we can only see mainly, for the most part, 1 fire and a little bit of smoke coming here. Yeah, from what we understand, it was hit 10 times, so I'm thinking maybe this was the first attack, and maybe Ukraine launched several waves of drones targeting this facility, maybe got hit more times later, because we do have more video footage showing that it's darker here at some point too. Here's another one from NOAA Reports. Overnight, another oil depot was targeted by Ukrainian drones, a large oil depot with 58 fuel tanks near Uzlavea, Tula region. Russia was reportedly hit. Okay, we've got another video here, 16 seconds long. Take a look at this.
Уебал беспилотник сзади прям нашего ангара. 2:28 время. Пролетело 8 штук, въебал вот один сзади. Те на Новомосковск полетели, какие-то сбили, какой-то вот приземлился нахуй. Агрогрипп. Уебал.
All right, this person appears to be several miles away, but they're recording this oil depot on fire. And look at how much it's lighting up the sky over there. So this blaze must be pretty massive once you get up close to it. So crazy videos coming out from Tula today. So moving on to another update now from Anton Gerashenko. First video, how it started. Second video, how it's going. Oil depot in Leodanovo, Kaluga region, kindly reported by Russian Telegram channels. Okay, so we've got two videos here. We're going to see the initial explosion, the first impact and hit on this new oil depot in Leodanovo. This is the smaller one in the Kaluga region, okay? And then we've got the video footage coming after showing this thing completely on fire and firefighter crews showing up to try to put out the blaze, okay? So we'll start off with this first video here. Okay, I want to let that one roll a couple times in case you guys missed it the first time. It's just a quick 5-second clip. So if you were able to hear a massive explosion on this oil depot over here, okay? So as far as we know, it was drones being used, but that very much to me sounds much louder than just drones, but maybe it's just kind of the sound that's being picked up by the camera, but definitely sounds like a major explosion over here. So we got one more video coming up. All right, so here's the destruction of this facility. We can see the fire crews and police also showing up. I've got the same video as well that we have for you in just a moment to show you a little bit better camera angle. I'm not sure why this one zoomed in so much, but we found a better snapshot of this, of the same video. This is from Max24, Leodanovo. So take a look at this one, a little bit better video. You can see much more of this facility, the smoke coming from it, and the fire crews showing up. So take a look at this one too. All right, another major headache for Russia is we now have these two oil depots that are going to be burning. As far as I know, the other two that we've been talking about recently too, the Lisky oil depot in the Voronezh region, also still burning. I've got an update on that. And then we even have the Angles oil depot burning as well. So as far as I know, 4 burning as of last night inside of Russia. Here's another video from Igor Sushko. Russia fuel depot struck by Ukrainian drones in Leodanovo, Kaluga region. So here's another video as well, 16 seconds long for the Kaluga region oil depot. Take a look at this.
Попали все-таки, да? Попали все-таки, да?
All right, so somebody was able to find a good spot and post up and record this video for us of this oil depot completely self-destructing itself right now. And this is a much smaller one, so, you know, the fact that it only had, how many, 6 or 8 of these oil storage tanks, not too many of them, just a few being destroyed is going to completely put this thing out of commission for the most part. So, crazy videos coming out from Russia today, guys. Now moving on to Jay in Kyiv. Notice there's no outgoing anti-aircraft fires. These drones, Ukrainian drones, excuse me, zero in on this oil refinery in Russia's Kaluga region. Ukraine is really going to destroy Russia's oil industry, and there's nothing Putin can do to stop it. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy to think about. I mean, that's why I keep, making this joke about changing my channel name to Oil Depot News, because that's literally all we've been reporting. Is what it seems like this entire week in Ukraine, starting off 2025 with a bang, just completely smashing all of Russia's oil industry, their oil depots, oil refineries just being hit all over the place in Russia. 30-second clip of drones arriving in this area inside of Russia, and they're not being shot down. Take a look at this.
Где-то беспилотник летит. На нахуй! Ебать, там тетка, которая сидит. Да. Там тетка, которая сидит, наверное, ну хуй там. Бля, ну хоть первый раз в жизни беспилотников увидел. Весело, ну все.
All right, so we can see these drones coming in over here, and they definitely crash, most likely on the oil depot just behind these buildings over here. And it's kind of funny, these people are just laughing, but at the same time, this is the destruction of Russia's economy as well. You know, you got to think that, you know, Russia's economy primarily run on the sale of oil. This is going to make the economy worse over in Russia right now. So if these are, you know, Russian citizens just over here hanging out and laughing about this, to me, I guess it's really not that funny, but you know, Russia's going to be having a hard time here very soon when it comes to their oil industry and their economy, and they're already in deep trouble right now. Also from Bliskovka, the Lisky, I think it's Lisky or Liska, I'm not sure. Everybody calls it a different name. Oil depot has been burning in the Voronezh region for 3 days now, according to Russian media. The day before, a state of emergency was introduced in the area due to the fire. So here's a new photo coming out from the Voronezh region showing the Lisky oil depot. Okay, we talked about this. What was it, just yesterday, the day before? I've completely lost track. Like, there's so many names on all these oil depots. There's so many we've been talking about. I completely forget which ones are which. Yeah, we just reported this one in the last couple days, been burning for 3 days now, according to Bliskovka. Okay, here's a new photo showing that thing still on fire. Now take a look at this as well from Anton Gerashenko. 4 oil depots are burning simultaneously in Russia. The fires at oil depots in Angels, Saratov region, and Lisky, Voronezh region are still not extinguished after drone attacks that occurred earlier. During the night, oil depots in the Kaluga and Tula regions were also attacked and still burning. Russia targets Ukrainian shops, hospitals, residential buildings, and terrorizes peaceful people. Ukraine destroys Russia's military infrastructure and logistics. Isn't that crazy? Just like the attack that we're going to be talking about in just a moment inside of Kyiv. Yeah, definitely what we're seeing from these strikes, it looks like strikes on civilians and civilian infrastructure, and Ukraine is just destroying and blowing up all the critical infrastructure for Russia's war. And this is a kind of a map to show the different oil refineries that were on fire simultaneously last night, 4 of them. Okay, so this first one here being the Angels Oil Depot. It's called the Combinat Crystal Oil Depot. We reported that just about a week or week and a half ago. That one got hit 2 times over the last couple weeks. Still burning as of last night. We have the Lisky Oil Depot. I believe this is in the Voronezh region. Still burning. Okay. Then we had this one, the Tula Oil Depot in the town of Dedilovo. That got hit last night. And then the Kaluga Oil Depot also in the town of Leodanovo. So this town inside of the Kaluga Oblast. Okay. So 4 simultaneously burning over the last 24 hours. And many of these probably going to continue burning for days, okay? We've already been seeing that with these 2 oil depots down here that we've been reporting. Pretty insane news, guys. Okay, also from Military News UA, after the new year, Ukrainian long-range kamikaze drones attacked an incredible number of Russian targets on the territory of the Russian Federation. The largest Russian sea trade port in Ust-Luga, Leningrad region, the Teneko oil refinery in Nizhnekamsk, Russia, Bryansk chemical plant, the Saratov oil refinery, the Russian oil depot in Angels, Russian oil depot in Lisky, Voronezh region, Russian oil depot in Leodanovo, Kaluga region, and Russian oil depot near Dedilovo station in the Tula region. Just crazy, guys. So many oil depots, critical infrastructure for Russia, you know, to maintain trade or selling oil, whatever it might be. These are major hits, okay? And Ukraine's going to continue doing this. They've got so much funding for drones right now. They've probably got just an incredible amount of drones they could just fly into Ukraine every single day. And we're going to continue to see this. And I've been telling you guys this, that I feel like we're going to see a lot of drone attacks in the coming weeks. And they're going to be happening probably almost every night. So get ready for more oil depots being reported on a daily, all right? Now we're going to move on to these attacks inside of Kyiv. Very sad situation to have to report this once again. It's almost every single day, as well as we have these drones flying into Russia, that we have major reports of attacks inside of Ukraine. But I want to show you guys this coming out from Kyiv. All right, so from Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, he reported here on X, in the early hours of the morning, the enemy launched a ballistic strike on the center of Kyiv. The area was affected by falling debris. 3 people are confirmed dead. 3 others are wounded. My condolences to their families and loved ones. Residential buildings, metro stations, shops, cafes, and other civilian infrastructure have been damaged. All services are continuing their efforts to mitigate the aftermath of the shelling. Zaporizhia was also attacked. 10 people have been reported wounded, and others may still be trapped under the rubble. Infrastructure has been destroyed. Many people's homes and shops have been damaged. The rescue operation is ongoing. All those who assist the Russian state in this war must face pressure as impactful as these strikes. We can achieve this only through unity with the entire world. Okay, so a little bit of more information I want to share with you guys before we jump into this video. I did a little bit of research. I checked out an article coming from the New York Times today. So as far as I know, somewhere around 4 ballistic missiles were fired into Kyiv. I believe 2 out of 4 were shot down. And we had reports that I think 3 or 4 people lost their lives, several injured as well, as some of these strikes were just landing in the middle of the city. So we've got a video here coming out from Volodymyr Zelensky. It's 20 seconds long. Take a look at this. All right, so this is actually a video, a combination of both Kyiv and Zaporizhia, but the beginning of this is Kyiv, where we can see all this water here. From what I understand, too, there was a water main line that was directly hit. That's why we had flooding in the streets of Kyiv today also. So I've got more pictures and videos coming out from this area as well. Now moving on to Bliskovka, the moment of today's explosion in Kyiv. So I was actually able to catch this video coming out just prior to recording this. So I'm glad I found this so I can show this to you guys. It literally came out 1 minute when I was about to get started recording this video for you guys. So take a look at this, the direct strike inside of Kyiv in the early morning with these ballistic missiles. Take a look at this. All right, so frightening, guys. I mean, absolutely scary to see this. Look at the night sky getting lit up from this ballistic missile coming into Kyiv. I couldn't imagine living here and dealing with this almost on a daily basis. At least for sure, drones are entering into Kyiv every single day, but it's not very often that we see missiles coming in. I think the last missile attack that we had was Iskander missiles recently, probably about maybe 2 to 4 weeks ago. But this definitely was a major attack with these ballistic missiles, okay? Very frightening. Now moving on to another update from Max24. Such a crater in Kyiv near the Lukyanivka, if I'm saying that right, metro station as a result of the morning attack on the capital. It was near this place that civilians died. Okay, so we've got this video here to show this massive crater from this ballistic missile that was incoming to Kyiv. I'm not sure if this is one that was shot down or directly striking the city. It looks like it made direct impact here, but a massive explosion in the middle of the street. Take a look at this. There's lots of water right here too, so I'm not sure if this is where that water main line got struck. Maybe it was running underneath the street and it penetrated and destroyed that water main line. So we did have some massive flooding inside of Kyiv, okay? So pretty crazy news. Also from Bliskovka, 4 people were killed and 3 injured by Russian attack in the Shevchenkivsky, that's kind of hard to say, district, okay? That's inside of Kyiv, reports the SES. 3 cars burned down, 10 more damaged. There's also a break in the water supply network. Administrative building, a business center, and a shop were partially destroyed. The fire in the building has been localized. Okay, so something I want to share as well as we look at these photos, we're going to see all the flooding inside of Kyiv. Here's a sign that was destroyed as well. Look at all that shrapnel all over that sign, okay? Imagine if that was a person there. So people definitely were killed and injured in these strikes. You can see more emergency crews here showing up to help out. And as we show this photo, okay, we can see these cars that have been destroyed. I did find a video. Unfortunately, I can't show it to you guys, but I'll let you know that this did happen. This is news, and I want you guys to be aware of this. There was somebody who actually did burn to death inside their vehicle. I did see the video, but unfortunately, I can't show it to you guys here on YouTube. It's way too gruesome, but somebody did burn to death in their car. Very sad information to have to report that, but that was the case today inside of Kyiv. I'm not sure if this is the car where it happened, because I'm pretty sure there was multiple cars that were impacted by this strike. Now moving on to Bliskovka, photos of the damaged cathedral in Zaporizhia after the morning Russian attack. Okay, so even in Zaporizhia getting hit hard last night. I'm not sure what types of munitions were being used over here. It could have been Iskander ballistic missiles. We don't really know what was happening over here. Probably some drone attacks as well. So we can see major damage to this cathedral in Zaporizhia. Okay, this is in kind of like southeastern Ukraine, southern Ukraine, close to the Kherson region. Zaporizhia been getting hammered recently as well. So I'm not sure why a cathedral would have been attacked. I don't know if this was the exact target or what happened here, but we did have a cathedral being destroyed last night. Also from the Ukrainian Review, Zaporizhia, 8 people injured in Russian strikes, 2 people missing, okay? Here's some more pictures coming out from Zaporizhia. We have a massive building here that has been destroyed, completely on fire. We've got firefighter crews here on the scene as well. Here's some more damage to what looks like an apartment complex or building where there was a residential area. So once again, we've seen so much of this, okay? Just residential infrastructure all over Ukraine, primarily in the south is where we've seen a lot of these strikes like Zaporizhia. This is very common down here. Almost every day we see attacks like this, whether it be drones or missiles, but the destruction of this damage looks like it was missiles being used, okay? So very sad once again. Now we're going to move on to some miscellaneous things that I have to share with you guys before we wrap this video up. So this one's from Anonymous. Russia's plotting a mass casualty event terrorist attack within the US, Europe, or Canada, according to experts. Okay, so I might potentially do a video on this later. If I get more information, if it seems like something I want to share with you guys that you need to know about, especially considering that a lot of my viewers live in the US. I mean, this is something that you should be watching out for every single day, not just in terms of Russia plotting something, whether they are or not. I'm not going to say that they are or they're not doing it because we don't really know. But according to Anonymous, there's some sources stating that Russia could potentially launch a mass casualty attack on Europe and US. And at least in the U.S., we know for sure right now, lots of people coming in through the border, unchecked. And many of these people, we don't know who they are, where they come from. So, that's definitely something to worry about in terms of living in the U.S. And then even in Europe, that's a big problem too. Okay, lots of people have been coming into many countries in Europe illegally as well. So definitely stay on your toes in terms of this. But if I get more information, I feel like you guys need to be aware of that. I will do a separate video on this today. Okay, I'll let you know at a later time. Now for military news UA, the missile troops of the armed forces of Ukraine struck the Russian Buk M3 complex and the 9S-32M radar station of the S-300 anti-aircraft missile system, which were located in the temporarily occupied territory of the Donetsk region, according to the General Staff of Ukraine. Okay, so more air defense systems being destroyed. We just reported one, I think it was yesterday or the day before. We had an S-400 complex, like an entire battalion that was destroyed inside of Russia. Now this one looks like inside the Donetsk region. So another air defense and radar station being destroyed for the S-300 complex. Okay, so that's very big. Moving on to another update from Military News UA. Ukrainian strike UAVs hit the Russian radar station Nebo SVU in the temporarily occupied Kherson region. General Staff of Ukraine reports. Okay, so another one of these radars being hit as well. These things are absolutely massive. There's quite a few of these located in Crimea. Also, I remember reporting this months back. We had one that was hit with drones also. So it looks like we may have some damage to a radar station called the Nebo SVU in Kherson region, okay, in the occupied portion where Russia's at, okay. Here's a new video coming out today as well from Noel Reports. Unknown saboteurs set fire to communication towers near Krasnodar in Russia on the night of January 17th. Okay, so Krasnodar region of Russia. This is like southwestern Russia, close to Rostov region as well. And it looks like we have a video here of Ukrainian saboteurs lighting some communication equipment on fire. We've seen this multiple times over the last probably month or so. I've shown you guys several videos of this, okay? Lots of communications being destroyed and being sabotaged, okay, from the Ukrainian side. Now from the Kyiv Independent, Russia's seaborne oil exports declined 9.1% in 2024 amid Ukrainian drone attacks, Reuters reports. Ukraine has targeted Russia's fossil fuel infrastructure as part of its strategy to undermine a key funding source for Russia's war effort. Okay, so the Kyiv Independent with a new report today stating that Russia's seaborne oil exports declined 9.1% in 2024. That's pretty big, guys. I mean, that could be billions of losses for Russia. We know Russia's economy, I always say this, is primarily based off of oil, okay? So if they declined 9% just last year, imagine what it's going to be this year. If this war continues on through, this entire year of 2025, I wouldn't be surprised this report's going to be much higher next year. If it starts to come out, let's say in early 2026, a year from now, I wouldn't be surprised it hits 20% or more. As right now, it's just, oil depot after oil depot, oil refineries. Just how long can Russia sustain this? It's absolutely insane that by now, with all these losses, how are they still able to maintain this war? There's got to be lots of borrowing happening on the back end, central banks just doing things they wouldn't normally do. Pretty insane, guys, okay? Also, here's a new picture from Military News UA, a group of North Korean soldiers in the Kursk region. Okay, this was a new photo that came out yesterday, actually, that I wanted to share with you guys. It was surfacing all over X, and this is apparently in the Kursk region, and what looks like North Korean soldiers dressed in Russian gear, okay? So we already know that, according to Vladimir Zelensky, they've already captured some North Korean soldiers. We reported that just like in the last week. I think 2 were captured. As far as I know, they're trying to facilitate a transfer. Maybe they might send them to South Korea or maybe back to North Korea. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with that yet. But yeah, new photo of North Korean soldiers reportedly in the Kursk region. So finally, one last thing to share with you guys from the Kyiv Independent. These are the indicative estimates of Russia's combat losses as of January 18th, according to the armed forces of Ukraine. All right, final update. Russia's losses as of January 18th, according to the Ukrainian side. 1,340 troops, 13 AFVs, 69 vehicles and fuel tanks, 21 artillery systems, 13 UAVs, and it looks like that is it, okay, being reported. So not too many losses today. If you notice here, 0 tanks, okay? Over the last couple days, we've been reporting right around 11 or 12, 13 tanks being destroyed a day. It looks like 0 were destroyed over the last 24 hours. So aside from these massive attacks in terms of drones going into Russia and then these ballistic missiles hitting Kyiv today and then Zaporizhzhia being shelled heavily as well, doesn't look like there was a whole lot of action on the front line in terms of ground troops, okay? So we're seeing a lot less destruction on the Russian side today. So lots of big news coming out from this war, guys. Just, again, absolutely crazy that these oil depots are just being smashed all over Russia right now, and just expect more of these updates coming out every single day of new oil depots being struck nightly. I wouldn't be surprised the next few hours from now, at the time that I record this, we're going to be hearing about more oil depots being hit again, or at least a mass wave of drones. So it seems like every night, 50 to 100 drones or more, Ukraine is flying into Russia, trying to target their critical infrastructure. So let's see what happens here. Over time, this got to make a major impact on Russia's economy. And it looks like it's going to start happening very soon, because we also have sanctions that are ramping up on Russia right now as well. So let me know what you think about all these details. That's going to be it for today's update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. With that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.